So, good day everyone. Our topic is variable exposure, age, and acculturation. So, I will explain to you and Dagno, which is my partner, to this report or presentation. What is the challenges? Ano nga ba yung mga challenge na makakarap natin when it comes to adapt the second language acquisition? Ano yung mga challenges when it comes to age, acculturation, and exposure variable. Ano nga ba yung exposure variable? Paano nga ba nakaka-apekto yung age sa pag-a-adapt ng second language acquisition? And we will discuss the Skuman model. So, by the end of discussion, the student able to, what is ano nga ba yun? So, the first bullet is define the exposure variables and explain their role as SLA. So, ang SLA po is second language acquisition. The second one is describe the influence of age on the language acquisition. Yan. The third bullet is explain the acculturation and its impact on the learning. Ano nga ba yung mga impact na ito or mga challenges. And the last one, which is the understand the Skuman acculturation model. So we need to understand the Skuman acculturation model kasi she is the one of the strongest belief and evidence. Ano nga yung mga challenge na makakarap natin when it comes to adapt the SLA, which is the second language acquisition.
So, what is exposure variable? Of course, matututunan natin ang isang language if we used it with the people around us. And also, kapag naririnig or nakikita natin ginagamit ito ng mga tao, especially dun sa mga nakakasalamuhan natin, nagkakaroon tayo ng conversation. Therefore, na-expose tayo sa language and subconsciously na-acquire natin ito. Yes, na-acquire natin ito. At sinasabi na ang exposure variable ay indirect. Bakit? Kasi when we say indirect, it is not really intended to do. Hindi intensyon ng isang tao na matuto ng language through exposing herself or himself. Kaya indirect kasi hindi mo talaga siya ginagawa. Parang kusa na lang siyang nangyayari. The exposure. Sinasabi rin na the longer the exposure to language, the better proficiency for such language. So, for example, si Paula. Si Paula, taga dito siya sa Pilipinas. And nag-decide siyang pumunta ng US. And tumira siya doon for almost 2 years. At pagbalik niya dito sa Pilipinas, mapapansin natin yung pagkakaiba ng paggamit niya ng language before siya pumunta doon at nung nakabalik na siya dito. Kasi nga, nakuha niya na yung proficiency. Na-expose siya doon sa mga taong taga-US. And yun, masasabi natin, practice makes progress talaga. Sabi rin na, it is measured by the length of residence or yung tinatawag nating LOR. Kapag sinabi nating LOR, ito yung kung gaano kakatagal tumira dun sa lugar na iyon. Kunyari, kung ito ba ay months, years, or decades. At kung mas matagal kang tumira doon sa lugar na iyon, mas may expose ka at mas makukuha mo yung language na iyon. And kung gusto mo talagang matuto ng language na iyon, dapat tumira ka ng matagal doon. Kasi kung 1 or 2 months ka lang tumira doon, huwag kang mag-expect ng magandang result. At para patunayan yung mga sinabi ko kanina, meron akong mga babanggiting tao na may kinalaman or magpapatunay na totoo yung sinabi ko. The first one is Fatman. Siya yung nakadiscover na itong LOR ay mahalaga in terms of exposing yourself to learn a language. The second one, sina Wahlberg, Hayes, and Rusher. They find a significant relationship between LOR and proficiency. Kasi, kung mas matagal yung LOR mo sa lugar na iyon, ibig sabihin, mas okay yung proficiency mo sa language. And the last one is si Ekstrand. sinasabi naman niya na there is no relationship between LOR and proficiency. Iba siya sa research nina Fatman and nina Wahlberg. But, they discovered na kaya pala walang relationship, it is because 10.5 months lang yung nilaan niya. So, meaning, totoo yung LOR. Dapat mas matagal ka sa lugar na iyon para may magandang result. When you are acquiring a second language. So, yes. Let's have Mr. Espinosa for the continuation of our topic.
So, good morning everyone. So, sabi daw dito, meron daw tatlong user. The first one is overuser, the second one is underuser, and the last one is optimal user. So, ano nga ba yung mga ito? Una tayo, which is the overuser. Overuser daw po ay na masyado sila nagre-rely doon sa grammar rule. So, the result of those is, although nakikipag-communicate sila, mabagay nga lang. But, gusto nga nila maging perfectionist. The second one is underuser. Ito yung kabaliktaran ni overuser. Sila naman yung masyadong hindi nagre-rely doon sa grammar rule. Although, ang result nito is wala silang pake kahit magkamali sila. But, they are using natural language. Although, kahit magkamali sila at long as nakikipag-communicate sila. And the last one is optimal user. This is the combination of two user, overuser and the underuser. The result of optimal user, you will use only this when it needed or kinakailangan. That's why we are using Taglish. So, ayan. So, the next slide is age. So, topic natin dito, paano nga ba nakaka-apekto ang age sa pag-adapt ng second language acquisition o SLA? So, the first bullet is, sinasabi lang dito na age affect how much understandable input learners receive. So, this is mean the younger children get more often natural exposure while the adult get more less. So, tama na naman. Alam naman natin yung mga bata is mas exposure sila when it comes to that language. Kasi they are adapting, they are not busy, unlike the adult. So, the second bullet is age. So the second bullet is sinasabi lang nito, age influence the affective of the people or which is yung kanilang emotion. Alam naman natin na the younger are naturally and the younger learners are usually get less anxious while the adult I get more self-conscious or nervous. Alam natin yung mga adult is parang napapaisip sila kung tama ba yung mininig kasi kinakabahan sila, lalo na kung maraming tao or nag-a-adapt sila ng second language acquisition. The third one is, after the puberty affected, the filter usually become stronger. Ito na po yung tatlong third bullet. So, sinasummarize ko lang, no? So, this is mean the teens and the adult may experience more stress or pressure making adaptation harder. So, alam naman natin na walang madali sa pag-a-adapt ng second language acquisition. Pag-a-adapt ng bagong language. So, yan nga. Lahat yan, kahit sino ka pa, kahit ano ka pa, basta lahat walang madali. Siyempre, lahat yan dumadaan sa process. And makakatanggap ko talaga naman, makakatanggap ko ng stress. And the fourth one is, the younger learners may adapt more easily. So, yun lang po yung summary nun. Alam naman natin na mas madali talaga maka-adapt yung mga bata. Lalo na yung mga newborn, mag-a-adapt pa lang sila ng language nila. Kasi they are more exposure than adult. And the fifth one, or the last one is, I know na masyado ako nag-rely doon sa mga children, but adults are more advantaged too. Bakit naman? Kasi they are professionals, no? Hindi sila ganun kakamali. They are perfectionists. Alam nila yung pagkakamali nila, and alam nila na professional sila. No? Yun lang. So for our next slide, I will explain to you the acculturation of model ni Schumann. Paano niya ba ito ginawa? So the SLA or second language acquisition is the one of the aspect acculturation. So yun yung sinasabi niya doon sa sinasabi niya sa first bullet. The second one is the degree of acculturation will control the degree of second language acquisition. So I will explain to you the picture over sa taas ko. So kung nakikita niyo dyan yung social factors, yan yung mga pwede nyong ma-challenge when you adapt the second language acquisition. And nasa baba naman yung mga psychological factor. So ano nga ba yung mga yan, no? Tapos yung acculturation, ito yung pag-a-adapt mo ng second language acquisition. So yan yung mga pangalan yung mga maaari mong maging challenge. Example dito sa psychological factor, we have there the language shock, culture shock. Yun. So, ayun man lang. So, hi everyone. So, we are the last part of our presentation, which is, I will explain to you the part or the each sentence, what is the struggle you will challenge when you adopt the second language acquisition. Sabi nga ni Schumann, when you adopt the second language acquisition, you must first adapt their culture. Kasi yun ang tamang way to adapt their second language acquisition. Kasi mas madali nga yun. At lalo na pag na-expose ka doon sa mga bagay-bagay na yun, lalo na may kinalaman doon sa pag-adapt mo ng second language acquisition. So the first one, I will explain to you the integration pattern. So ano nga ba integration pattern? Minimin lang nito na how the learners group try to fit to a new environment. So paano ka nga ba lulugar doon sa new environment? Ano yung gagawin mo mga way para maka-fit ka doon sa pag-a-adapt mo ng second language acquisition, kasi nga bagong environment siya. For example, mag-a-adapt ka ng Spanish. So although pupunta ka from Philippines, pupunta ka ng Spanish. Ganun yun. So, the second one is the enclosure. So, how isolated the learner group from the target group. So, paano nga ba siya kalaki? Ano yung mga way mo? So, the third one, which is the size. And the fourth one, the third one, which is the cohesive. How tightly connected the learner to each group and each other. So, paano nga sila nagko-connect. So, kailangan mong aralin yun. And the fourth one, which is the size. Pag mag-a-adapt ka ng second language acquisition, gaano nga ba kalaki o kalawak yung mga naroroon sa nakakaalam ng second language acquisition. Kasi the more people, the more you learn. Yun nga. And the fifth one, we have the culture consequence. So, sasabi lang dito, how the similar or different the culture. So, ano nga ba yung pinagkaiba ng first language acquisition mo dun sa second language acquisition na ina-adapt mo? So, kasi makakatulong yung first language acquisition mo sa pag-a-adapt ng second language acquisition. Yun. So, if we don't know what is the meaning of the word, you can translate your word into first language acquisition. That's why we're using Taglish. And the third to the last, we have this social dominance. So, sinasabi lang dito na wherever one group has more power to the other. So, sino nga ba yung makapangyarihan? Bakit nga ba sila makapangyarihan? Parang politics lang yan, no? And the second to the last, which is the attitude. Ito na yung mga phases. Siyempre, although you will become to adapt to the second language acquisition, natural na ito na ma-adapt mo, which is yung kanilang attitude. The way they express their world when they come to communicate with you. Yeah. And the last one, we have here the incident length of resistance. Of course, when you adopt the second language acquisition, gaano nga ba kahaba? Kasi hindi ka naman matututo kung may exam lang, kung tatamarin ka. Hindi ka naman matututo sa isang basahan lang, paglilibro ng second language acquisition. So, when you adopt the second language acquisition, you must first, gaano nga ba kahaba? And are you ready to adopt the second language acquisition? So, yun lamang po sa aming presentasyon ni Dagno, and maraming salamat po. Thank you.